Well, as you will by now know, I love to keep demonstrating and changing mediums with you as well. So I want to do a painting of this, which would have been a nice watercolour, but I also think it could make a good chance to show you this mixed medium of water and pastel. So I'm going to get some hot pressed 140 pound arches and my Unison pastels and use water and brush to work this up for you. Well, my jam jar decided to fall over and smash just now, so I'm having to use the palette to have water in from the river. There's my Unison pastels, set up the paper there, just taped on. And I'd like a bigger bit of paper really, but we'll have a go at this scene just to show you how it can be done, and we'll work up the background colours first, like we do a bit with the acrylics, and then we can put the pastels over the top, and having been used with water they'll be fixed. First thing I want to do is just work out a very nice and basic composition how it's going to fit in. I like the light down on the left here, and of course it's all stems of bamboo, so it's a triangular composition coming in like this, and the tree here, right up and through here, the light coming through there, that tree there, and then up into here will come up to the big tree, and all the bamboo right up and through here, and then this pathway that comes up and through like this. So that's about what I want. That's all I'm going to need to do for the minute. All what I want to do is get on the background colour, because I'm going to put my lights over my darks, not my darks over my lights. I'm going to bring this tone right down through here first of all and add colours over it. But first I want to have a coloured ground, so I only need 2 brushes, possibly 3 with a small round, but I've got a rake here and a small oval mop. The Pro Art one's the one I love. Small oval mop. And I'm going to wet the pastel and paint it on, and as soon as I can start making marks again that are about what I'm painting here. It's no good just making any wishy-washy marks. We've got to work about what's going on. It comes up into these trees here. I'll do the same there right through here, and these trees here a bit. And of course we can draw with the brush. That's the nice thing. I can take this paint and I can drag it out and draw with it. And I'm going to put the lights in between the darks, so I'm going to be able to make my positive shapes straight away and come back and paint in my negative, the lights in this case, with the, we're getting the picture almost immediately. It's a very, very rapid technique. And we've got another one here. Don't need to be fancy at all, just work out where things are going. You can see how I can bring it into the other colour underneath, and I can make that more textured and about the amount of leaves and things that are here. I can go in whenever I want and go darker with the pastel when it's in the water as well, so I can actually manipulate this at all times as I want it. Straight away manipulating and using the pastel as a paint, as a ground first of all for my, not quite dark there, painted in. It'll go lighter when it dries, of course. This is just the first coat, so it's bound to go lighter as it dries. I can put darker coats into this in just a minute. I'll try and show you as much of this technique as I can. Put the other darks on top afterwards. Now I want to get the background effects here. There are mixed greys and greens going on, beautiful mixture of colours, and we can do that immediately. I can take my colours, and it's only a hot pressed paper. It's a lovely Arches hot pressed. I've spent these light green greys and background colours to put my other colours on top of in a minute to hang them on. And I can do that with the rake brush in a minute as well. You'll see how we're inside the light here, we're inside this shelter. So we're going to put the light coming, shining through from behind these wonderful bamboo stems. Right, we talked about texturing with a brush. Let's now take the rake brush, and as you can see it's serrated, and we can start to use it with water to immediately get a serrated mark. We're not stuck once it dries, you can work into it and change it. Just wanted to show you different techniques then. Each subject I choose, I try and choose a medium and method for that subject. Actually a double set of DVDs I've done, which is one of my favourite sets, shows that as I choose many different subjects and deliberately choose different ways of working them. Quite different way of working. Very fluid, of course. It's very like watercolour or gouache, but using the pastel like this, because you've got a texture. You can draw with the brush, you can make lights and darks, you can make finer lines by dragging the paint out. I'm going to use my brush to get the textures in just a moment. Just want to get the preliminary coats on first. That lovely strong one that comes through the back there down to here. And all these little lines that come up and through. And the same back here, we're going to have these deeper colours coming right back through here. And we'll really hit the colours. Even going to start to put some reds in down here to blend in a moment. Right, back with my ordinary mop, and I'm going to use the tip of the mop. Again, one of the beauties of the mop is that we can use the tip as well as the flat of the brush. I can use the flat like this, or I can use the tip to make marks and bring in these textures coming through here. Painting with it first of all, letting it be like a watercolour and blending my colours and getting lovely effects. And you can let it trickle if you want, because you can paint wet into wet. See how I can do it. Paper's cockling slightly, which I've got to watch, because that's going to obviously mean I'm going to miss bits if I go across a raised piece and then come down here. All the time I can play with textures, all the time I can drag these textures in with the tip of the brush or with the rake brush to make the feeling of the bamboo. Or I can use it for the larger leaves of these trees in this way to make the more deciduous trees. I can't think of the words there, coniferous, deciduous. Okay, we're about ready to start putting lighter colours in. This is where the fun comes now. Let's start on the sunlit bits. I still can use my brushes. Start on the sunlit bits. Let's look at these lovely light greens behind here. They're going on behind. Might need it to dry slightly more now, because I want to work dry onto the paper. I've got all these stems putting over the top afterwards. And that colour must be coming into here as well. And remember, it isn't, that's the amateur way of doing it, but when you see people just painting blue sky, green grass, brown trees, one colour comes into another. There's never just separate blocks of colour like a child's storybook. The light can come through here, shining, and as the paper dries I can make more defined marks here about these leaves. They shine in the background there. Right through, some light shining back here, and down the bits of tree here, across the forest floor, up into the background, through here behind the bamboo. Using the technique then to simulate the subject matter, to make marks about the subject. I'll come back to my little rake brush in a minute and bring out these textures again in the background before I continue. Lovely colours and lights going on in here. We'll find them, look for them and find them now. Some deeper greens to go up in there in a moment. Just find these lovely pale colours with sunlight coming through first. I'll take my rake brush again and dip into the water, and let's start to make a few more textures in here again. Take these back a bit. I couldn't get this just with the pastel, but I have a hell of a job trying to make these great big pastels, make this sort of texturing and light back in here. Now it's a matter of bouncing backwards and forwards between darks and lights, isn't that, to get this to work. I've got my mark set here as well of the Unisons, which are rather nice, and I'm going to use them. Start finding some of these lovely dark shadows in amongst the foreground here. And I can use my brush to blend again. Let's just make marks about what is here. We're not trying to copy, we're just doing an impression of what is here. And now, because I've got drier pastel underneath and it's fixed it more, I can start to use the pastel as an ordinary pastel on paper and make defined marks. The bamboo is going to do a little bit the same, but it's going to be not quite as purple. Let's take a very deep green. This is what I wanted to do with these lovely stems of bamboo. The light behind. You've got a light behind. Mine's a little heavy. Right through here. And when I've done these main marks, I'm going to come back with the brush and pick up the paint and come back in, putting more and more of these in with the brush. And then I can come back afterwards with the rake brush again and use the rake brush to... I haven't experimented before doing this. I mean, the water and the pastel, yes, that's something I've done for years. I was one of the first exponents of it. A lot of people trying it since now, but doing it with bamboo, different matter like this. I've not done that before. So we'll come with this light angle in places. So let's pick up with the ordinary brush, the mop, and use the tip of the mop again to pick up on the deep green, and just want to make the blade, the brush into a blade, bring that down all the way through here, through this bamboo, making it a firmer line. But what I can then do is use the end of the brush to pick up from the paint and use that paint back into here. So I've taken down a line of bamboo in the pastel, and I'm going to go back and put a line of bamboo in with just the brush from the pastel. A line of bamboo pastel, and then back in with the brush, line of bamboo brush, line of bamboo pastel, line of bamboo brush. We can crisscross these. Put more water, otherwise I'm going to have a dry brush effect, which is not what we want. Right, back to my rake brush, because I need to get a feeling of the bamboo leaves coming across. I want to use the rake now to rake these dark. And now I think we're about ready to put the brushes away. We're almost going to have to use pure pastel now, except in some places where I can pick up the brush work and I can actually put in these darker leaves coming in now with the tip of the brush. You see, I can just take the brush, pick up the pastel and just come in with bamboo leaves by coming across the darker paint. Put the brushes down for a minute. I can come back and start using the pastels directly as they are to find leaves and lights and darks here. Getting in between the bamboo stalks now, just putting in little flecks of light. And the cool colours, let's start looking at these wonderful reflected colours that are happening. The green of the greens and the shadows here. We've got more blue happening into them. Start to get the texturing up here. It's quite abstract, isn't it, in its own way? I think we're almost there on that, you know. Light's just gone on me. This cloud's supposed to come over. I want nice clear sky for painting up there in a minute, because I need to go up and paint the vines up higher. I don't know how successful this is really, it's fun. Right, got some light back again. Try a bit of light up here. Maybe it makes a picture. I don't know. It was an interesting experiment, but I don't know whether it's commercially viable. And just a little bit of yellow back in here again. There we go. I think that's going to be about it. So we'll stop at that and we'll go on to our next painting, because I've got one more I want to do. Bamboo and bamboo. What more can one ask?